Hey folks, welcome back to another Poemaster video, and today we're going to talk a bit about a potential Rayquaza Legendary event rerun next month, and some implications of that, right? So, as you guys know, their Legendary events usually happen every other month, right? Obviously, there really isn't a strict pattern so far, but usually Legendary events seem like, it's every other month, right? We had one last month, we didn't have one this month, so very likely we're going to get one next month. And we usually don't get, ever since they started rerunning Legendary events, right, we usually don't really get new Legendary events, in a row, right? And last time we got a new one, which is Palkia, which is, again, very powerful, so very likely the next one might be a rerun. So the ones that they could rerun is, anything but Palkia, really, right? But the main one that hasn't come back in a while is Rayquaza. Rayquaza hasn't come back since Steven first came out, right? And Steven already, had a rerun, has a summer outfit already, right? Among other things. And Zinnia, Rayquaza still hasn't rerun yet. So if I were to guess, very likely it probably would be a Rayquaza rerun either next month or sometime soon, right? Because again, we do kind of need Rayquaza rerun. There is one thing about it, if they do rerun it, is they might have to rework the shop a bit, because last time Rayquaza was around, the Legendary event was incredibly overpowered in the terms of, the exchange shop, right? If you guys remember correctly, the exchange shop, you could very easily get 9,999 3-star level up books. So they might tone that down a bit, and now obviously stamina is a thing now as well. So don't expect to get as many level up manuals as we did last time with Rayquaza. But yeah, that was an issue. So they're going to fix that. And also, now that we've got new items and stuff, maybe they'll throw in a few move tokens. Maybe we'll get move candy, straight up a 5-star move candy, right? Whether it be Striker, probably Striker, because Rayquaza Striker. I mean, all of the Legendary Arena or Legendary event Legendaries are Strikers, right? So yeah, if they are going to give us a move candy, we might get that instead, for the compensation of not getting 9,999 level up 3-star level up manuals incredibly easily, right? So yeah, that could be something that they might be working on. And also the new level 125 level cap items as well. They're probably gonna give us a bunch of those. But yeah, that's in terms of that. So last time around, and this we are trying to get into territory of what banner could they run, right? The last time around, they gave us Kukui to beat Rayquaza, and Kukui does really, really well against Rayquaza for the fact, it's rock type, it's weak to rock, and also, Kukui didn't have crit, which is kind of weird, right? The thing is, Rayquaza was protected against crit, and then Kukui's whole gimmick was, lowers its defense, so that kind of makes up for the damage, that you lose from not being able to crit Rayquaza, right? So that was the whole thing about Rayquaza. So, as with past Legendary events, that got reruns, right? Sogoleo's rerun and Mewtwo's rerun. Mewtwo's rerun gave us Grimsley and Karen's Synchro expansion, right? They reran the banners for Grimsley and Karen and gave us Synchro expansions for both of them, right? Which were obviously very, very powerful. Karen's one of the best, strikers around still, and then Grimsley is weird, but Grimsley for Mewtwo specifically can snatch Mewtwo's insane, stat buffs that it gets from the beginning of the turn. So there's that as well. And then for Sogoleo's rerun, it was kind of weird, because Solgaleo, if you guys remember, it came at a time when we were having a bit of a content drought, and there wasn't really, it was the beginning of the whole, pandemic situation, right? And lockdown, all that stuff. And it did seem kind of weird in terms of the timing, because it never got data mined at the beginning, and it was a bit towards the end of the month, but not actually at the end of the month for the big data mine. they like suddenly had like a data download, and then everyone knew, oh, Solgaleo's getting a rerun for some reason, and that data download was just for Solgaleo. So there are some theories saying, oh, maybe that was just like an emergency thing that they wasn't really planned, that it just came, just because there's nothing going on and they have to like throw something at us. Maybe it was planned for like the next month, because the next month and the month after we got basically we got Garchomp's rerun with a grid, right? So right, and obviously Garchomp's grid super powerful, and Garchomp Solgaleo is weak to ground. So I'm thinking we might finally, if we do get a Rayquaza rerun, we might finally get the Sync Grid expansion for everyone's favorite co-op physical striker like a year ago. Olivia. And the reason why it's not Kukui is because Kukui has a Sync Grid expansion, right? And so it's kind of like Karen, because Karen was also, they didn't run Karen's banner during their initial Mewtwo thing, right? The initial Mewtwo legendary event, they ran just Grimsley's regular banner, and then when they reran Mewtwo's legendary event, they gave us Grimsley's and Karen's Sync Grid expansion. And Karen, like Olivia, were both units that were, or sync pairs that were there at launch, right, at global launch. So they're in the same pool, and Olivia might be time, because if we look at the rock types, in terms of summonable 5 stars, there are literally only 2, just Olivia Lycanroc and Kukui Lycanroc. Both are Lycanrocs, and so if we are going to get a Sync Grid expansion, it's obviously just going to be Olivia. That's like the only option. Unless they give us like Tyranitar, which would be kind of weird, because why would they give us a Sync Grid expansion for like a free-to-play unit when they could rerun a banner so we could summon on it and spend gems for it? Although most people probably don't need to spend gems. Like, Olivia's been in the game forever, right? A lot of people would have Olivia already if you've been playing long enough, right? So yeah, let's talk about Olivia Grid, right? Very, very exciting times. Olivia used to be really, really good. Obviously fell off quite a bit due to multiple things, honestly. First of all, she's not that great in single player as she was in co-op to begin with, just because of how it works, how quick sync moves cycle, right? Back in co-op, it's every 9 turns you get a sync move off, and in single player, it's like every 3 turns. And Olivia's big issue here, and why Olivia was really, really good in co-op, because Olivia set up quick, right? 2x attacks, 1, hardest diamonds, and then you basically have everything, because Stone Edge has +1 crit, so you always crit on Stone Edge, as long as you get 1 hardest diamonds in with that, +2 accuracy and +2 crit, which also makes your Stone Edge not miss either. So 100% crit, 100% accuracy every time you Stone Edge. The only issue is your sync move only has +2 crit, which is only a 50% chance of critting, which is obviously not good at all. But back in co-op, you usually generally end the battle around when you first sync anyway, so it really doesn't matter. But in comparison to single player, you sync much quicker, and then you just kind of need to get that extra hardest diamonds in there for the maximum crit on your sync move, which then sharply lowers your defenses even further. That's obviously one thing. The other thing is just she kind of got power crept. Like, there's just so many strikers that do so much more damage than her. Like, her damage just kind of fell off a bit. Like, even Kukui, who is like a tech unit who uses like a 0 gauge move, out damages Olivia, unfortunately. So yeah, Olivia kind of got outclassed a bit. I mean, she's still good. She's just not, she's just not in the level of how the other better strikers is. However, she has a lot of potential in her Sync Grid in comparison to a lot of other units, right? Because she has a very, very good set, right? So if we look at her set, we can compare it to Gallade, and I think it's very comparable to Gallade's set, because what Gallade has is Gallade has, once you mega it, right, you have that +1 crit every time, you use your sync move, and you also have 0 in, which crits land more easily when the attack move is used, and you got post haste, sharply raises user speed when hit by attack move, and fast track 2 has moderate chance of raising Pokemon speed after it uses move. So you got like 2 crit, buffing things. Also, you have Dark Hit, obviously, and then you have like 2 other passives that buff your speed, right? And what does that result in, right? That results in a Gallade having Critical Strike 2 on its grid and ramming speed. So that's an extra 50% damage buff for Gallade, at max, right? So obviously, which is, Gallade Synchro is insanely good. So I really could see something very, very similar with Olivia, right? Because with Olivia, you have Amped Up, which raises Pokemon speed when it lands a crit. Which, by the way, can we get some more units with Amped Up? Amped Up is such a great passive, and like no one ever gets it anymore after like Olivia. Like who else even has Amped Up? Okay, Mega Beedrill. Congratulations, Mega Beedrill, which doesn't even have crit buffs. It's like guaranteed, sure crit, right? Or something. Yeah, sure crit. Well, congratulations. But yeah, it's Amped Up makes increases your speed every time you land a crit, which again, every single of your Stone Edges will be crit. So even if you don't use Heart of Time, that's still like a 50% chance to crit anyways, right? So very, very likely I'd say Olivia could get ramming speed, and very likely could get critical strike as well, because Stone Edge has +1 crit. And, Olivia also raises her crit as well, but mainly because Stone Edge has a +1 crit. As for some other stuff, she probably gets something like a stats quo on Hard as Diamonds, maybe. It would be very, very nice if Olivia gets the, not Unbending. What was the one? I can't remember. The one that that stops her from lowering her special defense. That would be fantastic. That would also be overpowered if she gets it. So I'm not sure if she's gonna get it or not. But it's either that or stats quo. So the sharply lower special defense won't be as bad. And obviously the usual MP refreshes on stuff, move gauge refreshes, which is again fantastic for Olivia, because Olivia, even though she does have Amped Up, her speed's not that great. But yeah, it'll definitely help. As for Rock Throw, I don't really see much happening with Rock Throw, honestly. Like maybe, I don't know, maybe Defense Crush on Rock Throw. It doesn't really matter. Rock Throw doesn't matter. Rock kind of mattered for co-op back in the day a bit, but not anymore. It's just in that like one little transition period in terms of like how they changed like the move gauge situation in co-op and stuff. But yeah, it doesn't matter that much. As for some other stuff, maybe you should get Haymaker just because of that, or Inertia, but I don't really see it happening. Like, maybe Haymaker, maybe not Inertia, because, like, even if she does get Inertia, like, Amped Up takes a while, right? It does take a while. But, yeah, her Synchro, if she's going to get one, is going to be really, really good, right? And also the possibility of her not only getting a Synchro, but also like a 6-star EX, that'll be really, really nice as well, along with if she, again, does get an expanded Synchro when that drops. So anyways, that's really this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know, guys, think in the comments down below. Like and enjoy this video, so our channel for some more Pokemon Master content. I'll see you guys in the next one.